Yes guys, welcome back to the George Benson football channel, welcome back to another video. Today, I'm going to talk about 5 things that I want to see as a Chelsea fan from the Super Cup match against Liverpool. We're going to jump straight into it today. A couple of people said that my intro was a bit too long in the last video, and it really hurt me. After the loss against Manchester United, it's very important in terms of Frank Lampard's personal man management of individuals within the squad that he does still have confidence in some of the players that didn't necessarily perform. So the first thing that I want to see, in order to not give Kurt Zouma the idea that one bad performance means he's out of the reckoning at Chelsea, I'm sure it could easily be done with a basic conversation, but at the same time you look at what was probably a basic conversation with David Luiz, which then turned around with David Luiz saying, you know what, I don't want to be third or fourth choice, I want to be starting, and then he left the club. I'm not saying it's as drastic as Frank Lampard says to Zouma, you weren't that great against Manchester United, so therefore you've lost your spot, and I don't expect you to play again. That's certainly not what's going to happen. But I'd love to see Zouma start in this game against Liverpool. I think there are a couple of reasons why he won't, but the fact we sold David Luiz means that with the Super Cup, I often think that it should be the players that play on the pitch for a match like this should be the players that got you there in the first place. Now, we can't stick David Luiz in defence. We can't stick Eden Hazard on the wing. I actually went a few videos without mentioning his name, but we're back. So I fully expect Frank to prioritise using a lot of the players that actually got Chelsea into the Super Cup final in the first place. At the end of the day, it's a glorified European friendly, but when it's against Liverpool, there is certainly added impetus to want to win. So in order for Frank to maintain the confidence that he has, and for Zouma to maintain the confidence that he thinks the manager has in him, I fully expect Zouma to be given the nod to start against Liverpool. The penalty he gave away against United was actually the first penalty he's given away in his career, and one bad match against strong opposition can easily be rectified, even in a Super Cup game, which is arguably not as important as the game against Leicester at the weekend. But if Zouma comes in against Liverpool, he's given the nod, and he performs well, almost nullifies the confidence loss that he may have taken against Manchester United. On the flip side, he plays in the Super Cup and it doesn't go very well against a pretty incredible Liverpool team. So the second thing that I want to see, and I mentioned that I expect Frank is probably going to give the likes of Pedro and Willian minutes in the Europa League. I think Willian needs some minutes if we expect to see him in the Premier League anytime soon. And obviously Pedro had a big part to play in Chelsea winning the Europa League last season. Despite that, what I would personally love to see, as George Benson, who just uploads loads of reactionary videos on YouTube, I'd love to see Kennedy be given a run out in this game. I think the fact that we didn't sell him, I think there was definitely interest from other clubs to get Kennedy on loan. There was obviously interest from Chelsea, I believe, to actually send Kennedy out on loan. He's still in the squad. And I feel as though there's no point having someone like Kennedy, who does have flashes of ability and flashes of talent that do come out once in a while. Having someone like that in the squad and never using them is going to be pointless. He was on the bench against Manchester United. I'd love to see him get 45 minutes. I feel as though there's definitely something in there, and obviously a test as it would be against Liverpool could be a time for us to see it in a game where realistically, yes, there's a trophy at stake, but if we lose it, is anyone going to be really that bothered compared to if we lose to Leicester at the weekend? I certainly wouldn't be. Now the third point that I would like to make, and it makes it kind of difficult to see how I would fit Mason Mount or Ross Barkley into my team against Liverpool, I really need to see Pulisic play. I was so excited for him to start against Man United. It didn't happen for whatever reason. Frank maybe thought that he wasn't quite ready to be thrown into the Chelsea first team in such a massive Premier League fixture. We spent a ton of money on the lad. He's got so much talent. He's very quick. He can run at defenders. And what we saw from Liverpool in their game against Norwich was absolutely breathtaking going forward. They could have had 7 or 8 goals, but they also could have conceded a lot more against Norwich. I think that they were very unlucky, Norwich, to only go away with a 4-1 loss. It was a bit like Chelsea, you could say. It was 4-0 to Man United, deservedly so. United won the game. 4-0 was a flattering scoreline, and I think that Liverpool gave away so many opportunities against Norwich that maybe against a team like Chelsea, where the quality of players going forward are a little bit better than that of Norwich City, I think that someone like Pulisic, who's not frightened to run at defenders, would be a great way to rile their defence and create opportunities for Chelsea. So point number 4, and yet again, we didn't see Michy Batshuayi even make the matchday squad against Manchester United, which I was very surprised about. I didn't expect Kennedy to get the nod. I thought that Frank may well go with Giroud and Michy so that, well, he could either bring Olivier Giroud on for Tammy Abraham, which is what we saw, but I also expected that we may have seen a change of formation when things weren't going well from Frank Lampard's Chelsea, and I fully expected maybe Tammy to stay Kante on and Michy to come on as a second striker. So obviously we didn't see that. We couldn't have seen it because Michy wasn't even on the bench. Going along with the whole thing that I've said throughout this entire video, I fully expect Olivier Giroud to start. He was the top scorer in the Europa League last season. One of the major reasons why we won the trophy. So I fully expect Frank to honour that and give Olivier Giroud the start in a game where he's had such a big say in us even being in Istanbul in the first place. But when I'm looking at this from my own personal perspective about Chelsea's game against Liverpool, I'm not necessarily thinking about it's a trophy, I really want to win it. Of course I do want to win it. I'd be foolish to say I didn't. Of course I want to beat Liverpool, and it would be a massive confidence boost from Chelsea losing to United to then go and beat Liverpool. It'd just be the most typical Chelsea thing to do, wouldn't it? Of course I want to win it, but I'm also thinking I want to see players get minutes because I feel as though what we saw in pre-season, there were so many positives and then it's kind of just slapped us in the face. It's a reality check, of course. Losing to Man United, it would be foolish of any of us to really consider pre-season form being directly translated into the Premier League. It was never going to happen. If Michy Batshuayi doesn't get any minutes in this game against Liverpool, he's going to be wondering why the hell he didn't try and push and move away from Chelsea as well. So even though it's early on in the season, I definitely feel as though with a squad where everybody is trying their hardest to get a starting position, I feel as though using this game against Liverpool, which yes, it's an opportunity for a trophy, you've also got to use it as an opportunity to keep players happy. I remember when we beat Bayern and then we played in the Super Cup against, maybe it was after the Europa League. I can't remember which one it was, but when we played in the Super Cup and we lost on penalties to Bayern Munich, I think, and Lukaku missed that penalty, you just felt so gutted for him that the opportunity he was given at Chelsea to play in that game, he screwed it up by missing a penalty. And, you know, if Michy's given the opportunity against Liverpool, I really feel as though when he's given the opportunity in a big game, Michy Batshuayi can deliver. Maybe I'm just biased because I love Michy, but let's see. And the fifth thing that I do want to see is a Kante and Kovacic partnership. A lot of people have said it's up to either Jorginho or Kovacic to drop out of the team in order for Frank Lampard to accommodate N'Golo Kante. I for one have said that I want to see the Kante and Jorginho partnership, but in this game against Liverpool, I want to see Kovacic playing alongside N'Golo Kante. Kovacic is one of those players, again, last season under Maurizio Sarri. I'll be completely honest, I watch every Chelsea game, but I'm watching it with a bit more intensity this season and in pre-season, of course, because obviously I'm making these videos. I'm not saying I've become more of a Chelsea fan since making these videos, but I'm certainly paying more attention to the qualities of individual players because I don't want to turn up for these videos and spew a load of bullshit every time I start speaking. I'm not saying I don't sometimes I maybe do, but if I did every time, it would be a bit of a waste of everyone's time, wouldn't it? So I spent a lot of time watching Kovacic and I've thought about what he brings to the team, I've thought about his qualities, I've thought about how he could fit in alongside N'Golo Kante, and I really think that what Kovacic brings with his dribbling, with his passing, yes, Jorginho's passing is very good. The way he reads the movement of other players is, of course, his biggest strength. But I'd love to see the Kovacic and N'Golo Kante partnership. Kante needs minutes. That was evident in the minutes that he got against Man United. He needs to play more against the strongest opposition. And I fully expect him to make his first Premier League start of the season against his former club Leicester this weekend. But the Kante and Kovacic partnership in this match would excite me. And regardless of what team Liverpool play, we're up against a Jurgen Klopp team that play very exciting football, but going back to what I said earlier about wanting to see Pulisic running at the Liverpool defence, there's definitely going to be opportunities for Chelsea if the Norwich performance was anything to go by. So as for my prediction, I'm going to try and keep this as realistic as possible. Liverpool are a fantastic team. They're a better team than the Man United side we faced at the weekend, and we got absolutely hammered. However, it is a final. Chelsea know how to bring out their A game in a final. It's an opportunity to win a trophy, and it will be Frank Lampard's first trophy as Chelsea manager that means anything. So Chelsea are going to be the underdogs going into this game, regardless, in my opinion, of whether or not Liverpool go with Mane, Salah, Firmino. If they stick all of their big boys in there, I expect Virgil van Dijk's going to play, Fabinho's probably going to play. It's going to be a very tough Liverpool team. They've obviously got no Alisson, which is a big deal, but Adrian isn't the worst backup goalkeeper to have to call upon to come in as his replacement. What do I think the score's going to be? It's going to be a tough game. I am going to try and avoid Chelsea bias as many times as I can this season, but it is a cup final. Chelsea do very well in cup finals. We are a big game club. I know we just lost 4-0 to Man United. I've walked into that one. But on the whole, we often turn up in finals, and I can see this one going all the way. I think it's going to finish 1-1 in full time. My predictions for the Premier League weekend, by the way, I know they were quite bad. I'm going to be reviewing them when we go over this week's Premier League predictions for this weekend. I'm going to say 1-1 and Chelsea to win on penalties with a big goalkeeping display from Kepa to win us the cup. If Alisson was in goal, I may have just picked Liverpool on penalties, being the realist that I am, but I'm going to go with Chelsea to win on penalties. I think it would be a great confidence boost. Frank is going to want to go out there and win it. And I think the players that won us the Europa League last year, that get the run out, and some of the other players that will be given minutes that need to prove themselves are going to do enough for Chelsea to bring the trophy back to London. So yeah, this has been 5 things that I want to see from Chelsea in the Super Cup against Liverpool in Istanbul tomorrow night. Let me know what you want to see and let me know your starting 11 in the comment section down below. Yes, it could be seen as just a European glorified friendly, and the game against Leicester, I believe, is far more important this weekend, but it's another trophy. And I, for one, love seeing Chelsea lift trophies, whether it's the Community Shield, the Carabao Cup, the Premier League, or the Europa League, or let's go for the Champions League this season. Why the bloody hell not? So I'm excited for it. Let me know if you are in the comments down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and I will catch you all tomorrow. See you later. Bye-bye. That is never a good idea. Makeshift tripods, guys.